Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Drewling Samantics.
Morning, mate!
There he is. I was just having a little slurp there, mate, out of my Drewling Samantics mug. And talking of mugs, your mug is looking all bright and shiny and handsome, mate. What have you been doing with yourself?
I mean, nothing. You're very complimentary and friendly this morning. I'll tell you what, I know what it is. It's because last week we had the joyful light that is Mr. Reese Kerridge. His positivity, and that has obviously rubbed off on you, mate.
Nothing's rubbed off on me this week, I'll tell you, my friend.
You had to lower it, didn't you?
No. I will pick up on Mr. Kerridge's positivity. Yeah, no, I'm feeling good, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. I feel good.
You do look well. You do look good.
Looking trimmed, I suppose. But you don't look a day over 60 odd, so congrats.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, well, monkey glands are obviously working.
Oh dear. How have you been, mate? You've been busy?
What, rehearsing. So that's all been good.
Various stuff going on, but
yeah.
Did you have chance to have a bank holiday off,
mate? I mean, no. I mean, I saw everybody else enjoy themselves, but no, I was working bank holidays, just doing various events, and on the the 8th, we did an event for the coronation, and just after that, and balloon stuff before that with Verona's balloon band. So yeah, we've been keeping ourselves busy, out of trouble. But no, I mean, you know what it's like, but bank holidays are usually either you have to work because you are working, or you'll find an opportunity to work.
Yeah, I guess it's the whole sort of one of the major differences, aside from the fact we throw ourselves around on a stage or on a screen or whatever, but actually there isn't a working week. There aren't working hours. Like, bank holidays are fairly irrelevant. And I mean, if you look at Christmas as an example, 99 times out of 100, you don't have New Year's Day off. You don't have Boxing Day off. Granted, I've never done a Christmas Day performance. Have you?
No, I haven't. No.
So that perhaps is the one that is globally, or should I say, job universal. No, that's. I could have made that.
Or holiday universal, maybe.
Say again.
The universal holiday, isn't it? Christmas Day, I guess, for most people.
I'll tell you. Anyone listening or watching, ignore what we've just said. Pretend that I didn't say something shit. Vocationally universal.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
So yeah, Christmas Day, obviously, nearly everyone has off. I mean, I used to work for the NHS, and we didn't have Christmas Day off or any kind of bank holiday. But no, in our job, as much as we love it, it can be a little frustrating that people say, "Oh, look, it's bank holiday. We're going to go and do this and do that and do the other." And actually, bank holidays don't normally apply to us.
Do you remember though? I mean, when I was years ago, when bank holidays were just for banks are on holiday for whatever reason, and everyone else was working, and now banks are on holiday. There's no post. There's nothing. Everything stops. And I mean, I've never been able to quite work out why. I mean, yes, obviously there are special occasions like a coronation, which happens very, very rarely, or I suppose bank workers need a day off, but they don't work on a Sunday. I work on a Sunday. Why shouldn't every other bugger? But I mean, it's now everybody goes bank holiday Monday. Woo, we're not doing anything, and you think, theatres are still open.
Poor sods out there like us who are working bank holiday.
Yeah, and also, I mean,
I actually didn't work on the 8th, but it's intriguing, and I think, do you think people miss it? Maybe not, but so I can't remember why, but someone asked me for my working hours, or on average how many hours I worked a week, And I was like, I never stop, other than the fact when I'm asleep because I physically can't answer the phone or check for work or whatever. Outside of that, I am always working because I'm either looking for opportunities or available for opportunities or responses or updates or whatever to come through. My phone is never off. My emails are always incoming. Yeah, so I don't.
It's interesting because when we're working, when we have a job, we're doing a play, or we're filming or whatever, you get those hours. You know that you're called from a certain time in the day and it will end at a certain time. And your week has those many hours. But when we're not working on a job, we are working, because like you say, we never stop looking for it. We've got to do, there is a certain amount of admin, there's a certain amount of work that needs to be done. That is our working day. So very often, I don't know about yourself, but if I'm doing a show in the evening, I still have to work during the day, and I still have to do the show in the evening. So then it gets even busier. So the opportunity to take time off, we have to, but it is very difficult, because I don't know but nowadays there's almost an expectation that there will be entertainment of some form on a bank holiday or on a weekend or during a holiday. I mean, certainly that Verona and I, with the new venue, that they have said, we would like something to happen on the bank holidays. We would like something to happen during the half term. So if we were in a position to say, well, we might go off on holiday on that week, if there's a holiday week, we're not going to have that opportunity. Now, that's our choice. But because there is an expectation that there will be some form of event or entertainment or something happening on those holiday occasions for other people, we don't get that chance. It is like you say, people enjoy their Christmas Day, but we go back to work on Boxing Day because people are going, hooray, we're all here for another day. Let's go out and be entertained. Do you think
there are traditions, aren't there? A lot of families have a tradition. I can't speak. Malila have a tradition of going to see pantomime on Boxing Day. Now, as I say, I've been fortunate last couple of years. I haven't had to do Boxing Day. I've had Boxing Day off, which is unheard of, really, in the pantomime world. But that's a very small part of it. And it's interesting you talk about holidays, because you can. We don't want to come across like we're grumpy or complaining, because absolutely not. We've chosen what to do, and we're very lucky to be able to call what we do work, because it is something we enjoy, something that we love, something that we're very lucky to be a part of. But you do make sacrifices, and I say that very loosely, because so you talk about booking a holiday. Very few people will ever book a holiday last minute. And even when it is last minute, they'll be like, oh, let's go away next week, for example. For us, that's a week where, how do you know that the job, or an opportunity isn't going to come in? Well, you don't. So you have to sort of weigh the two up and go, do I want to take that risk? And do I need a break? And is it essential? And am I willing to take the risk that something may come in during that period, and because I'm not available, or because whatever, I won't get it, or I won't have that opportunity. So it's hard to sort of word it, because without sounding like we're going, oh, my life is so hard, I'm not allowed to go on holiday, because it's not what we mean at all. But it is something to take into account. I mean, I remember reading an article about a footballer. And I won't say his name, but I think he's Dutch, and anyone who is a fairly substantial football fan will know if I say he's just a character. I don't think he's playing anymore. If he is, it's in much lower leagues. But he was definitely a character. And he was quoted as saying something along the lines of, well, footballers' wages are justified as being so big because I'm not allowed to go skiing. And you're like, well, what? Like, and his point was, because of his job, he cannot risk getting injured. So it's written into his contract he can't do certain dangerous things. And that's probably written into a lot of high-end actors contracts that they can't do certain things because if they're in the middle of filming something substantial, and it would hold it up and it would cost a large amount of money. I'm not sure I can agree with him that it justifies X £100,000 a week because you're not allowed to go skiing. I think that probably takes the edge off it a little bit. But it is slightly related, and you can, like, should I be able to complain that I can't go on holiday or I can't do certain things because my job won't allow it, when actually I'm very lucky to be in the job I am? Well, yes and no. There's a fine line, isn't there? So
I think as well, like you say, I mean, it comes to a point where you go, I mean, if one has a family and dependents, and you for them, you have to say, well, I need family time. I need that. There are I do have people that I want to spend time with, that are looking for me to spend time with them. Yeah, and I think you do, and they go, well, regardless of any work or anything, I don't see anything on the horizon. I will keep that week, 2 weeks, or whatever, that time for the family. And if anything comes in, I'm not doing it. You have to be, there comes a time when I think, things become important. The job is important.
Yes.
But I think loved ones and family have to take precedence. That, you have to do that, I mean, I've done it. I mean, where my father passed away quite a few years ago now, 20 years ago, but I was on tour, and you have to go. If anything happens, I stop. I walk away from this, and the production company were very much, you go. Now I know that's an extreme. That's not taking a holiday or anything like that. No, but you do have to go. No, this is important, because people with bringing up young children. I know that people take time out of the business. They take parental leave, personal parental leave. We go, I'm not going to do. I'm going to see my child grow up to the age of 5, go off to school, then I'll go back into the business.
Yeah.
But there was a time when the whole idea of weekends was sacrosanct. Shops weren't open, and then theaters went, do you know what? We're gonna close on Tuesday and open on a Sunday, or not do shows on a Monday. And I think that was all done to take advantage of holiday crowds and tourist crowds in London, and people get time off at the weekend. They can see a show, but they're not necessarily during what is euphemistically known as a school week. I can't go to the theatre on Monday night or Wednesday, but I could go on Sunday, but it's shut. And theatres went, hang on a minute,
we can fix that.
We can fix that.
No, but it does make sense in that respect. And just going back to what you were saying about family, I mean, I make the sacrifice of going, well, I won't go on holiday, I won't do this because of my job, and I'm very lucky to love it. It's the sacrifice of loved ones as well. My poor suffering partner, who knows that perhaps I can't do certain things or go away for a certain period of time just in case. And it's incredible to have that support. And obviously I'm eternally grateful that she is that supportive. For you, it must be even tougher because you're both in the business. So
yes.
So actually, while I'm sort of going, well, this is my job, and my partner works a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever you sort of refer to it as, and works during the week and has a weekend, my job is different. But for the two of you, just because one of you can go, yeah, do you know what? I can risk
holiday.
Yeah, doesn't mean the other one can. So
no. Yeah, I think I mean, there is also a recognition of that. We all go, well, we know the score here, so that does kind of, But yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time we booked a proper big holiday, and we're lucky that, like you say, we love our work, and when we do work, we take an opportunity of going, okay, I'm going to take. We'll use this a bit of time out. We'll take an extra.
Yeah.
Night if we're working away. We go, okay, we won't go home on Saturday night after the gig. We'll stay an extra day. We've done that on occasions. And if one of us is touring, the other one will join, and that's a little bit of a jolly. But that has to be planned around work. It's not planning around a holiday. It's I mean, it sounds like we're whinging, but we're not. It does. And I know there are other professions. I mean, the nursing and medical profession. It was a couple of years back when I did Santa, when I was at the Santa, Santa couldn't make it. He was ill. So I played Santa at a hotel on Christmas Day, which was my day off.
Yeah.
But we decided we were, okay, I'll do that. So in the middle of a long panto run, I played Santa on that day and took presents around that. But mainly because I knew at that time there was a lot of medical staff staying in the hotel, and the hotel give up, I think it's 20 bedrooms for emergency staff to spend the Christmas day with their family. Yeah. They're still on call. So I was taking presents on my day off to, senior surgeons and medical staff, whatever, they're going to be rushed across London to do serious accidents should their need occur. They were squeezing in a day off with their family.
Of course.
And they were enormously grateful. And I thought, actually, I don't mind doing this because I love my job. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back to putting on fake tits and makeup and shouting at an audience and enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But this guy or this woman, they at any moment now, they could be leaving their family and be in an operating theatre for God knows how many hours. So they are, it's a similar example that they probably can't pick and choose their holidays.
No.
So I suppose there is, it is, but it is that thing of people do say, what are you doing with the bank holiday? I will be in a show. I don't get a bank holiday. Or, when are you going away this summer? No, I'm on tour because I'm doing a summer show.
Yeah, so exactly. And you're absolutely right. We are by far not the only job that has this issue, if you can call it an issue. But it is something that I think perhaps there isn't constant awareness of. And I said earlier, the word sacrifice is probably a bit strong, but we are lucky to do what we do, but we have made certain choices to be able to do that affect personal life, I guess. And as I was saying, I don't remember the last time I turned off my phone, and that sounds silly, but there are opportunities that come up, and we know that they have, like, there are casting companies that will get to a point now and go, we've had 500 people, pulling a figure from nowhere, 500 people apply for this role. That'll do. Like, we're bound to find someone in that 500. Now, are they being sort of cutting off their nose to spite their face there by going, oh well, we'll cut point there because number 503 could have been the best person for that job? But you have to call it to a point somewhere and go, look, we can't be ridiculous. We can't keep this open forever until we find whoever we feel is perfect. And we well know that even if someone appears perfect, there's always someone slightly better. That's the nature of what we do. But time has to play a part. But in that sense, looking at it from the other side, if you aren't available to make that application or to be put forward or whatever in the time frame of that first 500, then you haven't got that opportunity. Now, these are all very sort of like theoretical things I'm talking about, and it's all very much a possibility, and everything is different, but it does exist.
It sits in the back of the mind of performers and actors, doesn't it? It's always, you go, oh, I think I'll do that. Yeah, but what if a job comes up? You do have to sort of, and then you have to make that sacrifice. You have to make the professional sacrifice. There was another thing I just thought of as you were talking about about castings, that we now do a lot of self-tapes.
Yeah.
And I know that self-tape comes up and you think, I can't do anything else. Even if you had a day off or you were going to give yourself a morning to do something or whatever, and a self-tape comes in, you've got to drop everything, you've got to do it. And because that's the audition opportunity. If you don't do it, so even if you did have a minor break to do a bit of shopping or whatever, you're going, oh, okay, no, I've got to do that. So the onus, the onus is put back on the performer to make that personal sacrifice. I mean, you don't have to. You could go, I don't want to do it. But, 99.9% of performers will go, yeah, all right, I'll get the camera out. Out comes the tripod and the lights, and away you go.
And what about looking a step on from that audition or that self-tape that you've done, and they've said, thank you very much, we'll let you know. You've got the dates down for that production. So, if I get this job, I'll be unavailable from blah to blah. And you wait and you wait, and you're like, at some point they're going to come and say, yes, you've got it, or no, you haven't. Fine. Like, if I don't get it, so be it, but I really like it. But all the time you're waiting, you cannot accept other work, or, as we're talking about, book a holiday or organize any other event in that period of time that you have earmarked for a job should you be successful.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a real kind of, that's a proper catch-22 one, where you're going, well, I might not get the job. So, and if I don't get the job, by that point, it might be too late to organise whatever I was going to do. On the flip side, you might go, well, if I book it now, it's much cheaper. But then that job comes in, you go, well, now I've got to cancel it anyway. So there is that constant overwhelming feeling of, I almost need to be able to read the future. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, if we could, yeah. I mean, a friend of mine, exactly that same thing. They were penciled for a job. They never heard anything. And it was, a year or so ago, before casting directors and people had to release you from jobs, which they do now. And that's very handy. But, he went, oh, I'm going on holiday. Went on holiday, got a call from his agent. He's away with his partner, and got a call from his agent, said, so you're filming next week? And he went, and he was abroad on holiday, somewhere sunny. And he went, can you get back? And he went, yeah, okay. So he literally flew home. I think it was somewhere nice and sunny on the coast. Flew home. His partner stayed out there on her tods, having a holiday. He flew home, filmed for 2 days, and then flew back.
Wow.
And it was like, and he went, I've made no money out of this job because I've spent it all on going backwards and forwards. If I'd have cancelled the holiday and done the job, that would have cancelled it out as well, because I would have lost all that money on the holiday. Mm-hmm. So he said it was better just to fly back, do the work for a couple of days, keep everyone happy. My wife sat out there by the pool in the sunshine having a lovely time. Yeah. He said, and he said, that was it. He said, I got back on the holiday. He said, I got back from doing the job. And he said, and for the rest of the holiday, it poured the rain.
But you've also missed a bit in there, where if he'd then said, no, I can't get back, he'd almost certainly be blacklisted by that company for letting him down.
Oh, they'd have gone, what are you doing? You said you were available at one point.
Yep.
We penciled you. You buggered off. You were on pencil.
Yeah.
You can't, But he went, no. So he did. He just went, he said, I've got to do it,
Yeah, you got to
his agent was going.
And then there is a perfect example of the sort of dealing with the repercussions. Obviously, it's a nice problem to have that you're on holiday and need to be somewhere to work. I'd rather have that issue than the opposite, so to speak. But yeah, I'd love to book holidays, and I'd love to have that flexibility, and I'd love to not be a problem when my partner goes, oh, I'd love to do this, and well, sorry. But equally, I love what I do, and I am eternally grateful that other people have to make some sacrifices on my behalf, and yeah, I'm not grateful that they have to. I'm grateful that they do. Like,
they do. Yeah.
You know what? What I was trying to say.
I do know what you're saying. Yeah, I just thought something else just cropped up in my head, and I know there's always that. I mean, there's that expectation of, oh, there's a holiday, so we expect being entertained. But Verona and I were working over the bank holidays we just had, and we enjoyed it. We had fun. But there is that thing of people look at you going, it's a holiday. Come on, you're working on your holiday, but it's a holiday. It must be fun to work on your holiday. And you're going, no, but we are having fun.
I love what I'm doing.
What I'm doing, but yeah, I'm still working.
I don't enjoy my job more because you lot have got a day off to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. Your holiday doesn't make my day at work any better, mate. But there was a lady I met, and she came up and she was chatting to us while we were working, and she said, "Oh, do you only do this at holiday times?" And I thought, and I know, and I explained what we did. And, all right. So you're working all the time. And I went, yes, like today. Who only does something on holidays? I mean, obviously, that's a ridiculous statement to make, but it's like, do you only do this on holiday times? So, 300 the other 300 days of the year when there aren't holidays and bank holiday and blah 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 blah. I don't do anything. Yeah, I only work on holidays. Brilliant assumption. Brilliant assumption.
Wow. It's always going to be difficult for some people to understand certain elements of what we do. I mean, we get the inevitable. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm an actor. Yeah, but what else do you do? Why do I have to have? This is my job. Like, this isn't a hobby. I've turned a hobby into a job. Don't get me wrong. We all start somewhere and we do things for fun, and then all of a sudden someone wants to pay us to do it, and it's like, excellent, keep doing that. Yes, please. But yeah, I don't know.
Interesting, isn't it?
I want to keep reinforcing we're not having a moan and going, oh, woe is me.
Oh,
the
no,
world is ending because I can't go on holiday because I'm a clown essentially and jump around and do stupid things in front of people. Make us laugh, monkey boy. Yeah. But there are these sacrifices and there are these moments, and you go, I do have to take a step back at times and go, I am really giving everything to this because I want to be successful, yes. Because I need to pay the bills, of course. But equally because I would never give less than 100%. And I would hope that no one that's ever seen me perform in anything or as part of anything would ever be able to question that. So if we don't fully commit, then that could affect someone's enjoyment of something. And that's whether you're doing a job or building up to doing a job. So, yeah, I think it's you often invest for the future, and whether that's investing time or effort or making sacrifices, that they all count.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that whole sacrifice thing, but it's also really nice when people acknowledge that you're working on a holiday and say thank you very much. It's like, yeah, I know I'm enjoying my work, but it is nice that you acknowledge that, everyone else around me is having a lovely time. I'm having a lovely time, but,
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I completely agree. And we are almost always hugely appreciated. Like, almost always. Yeah. And it's very rare that, I mean, you always get compliments if you meet people after a show, or you might do something on a film and someone goes, oh, that was incredible. And that's amazing, and that is part of why we do what we do. We want it to be recognized, and I guess there's a small element of egotistical nature to it. You have to have that to be able to create the performances and to be able to make things work. But that said, going off what you were talking about, yes, to have it acknowledged that thank you so much for giving up your holiday, or thank you so much for blah, 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 or for making this work, or for whatever, that tiny little thing, it does make a huge difference.
On the flip side, I've also had people go, well, it is your job.
Also not wrong. I mean,
also not wrong.
Yeah.
So, but, that's always a bit of a kick in the teeth. Fuck you then.
Yeah.
You miserable bugger. Enjoy your holiday. I hope it don't rain.
Yeah. Fuck you for being grumpy and right.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no. There's a tact to doing and saying things, isn't there?
Yeah.
And what's the word? Flogging a dead horse or a broken record or whatever it is. We're not moaning about what we do. We love what we do, and we are incredibly lucky to be able to call it work.
I'm not moaning about the work. I'm moaning about the arseholes that sometimes make it a pain in the arse to do. Them I will moan about,
Yeah.
I love the work. It's just sometimes the pillocks you get in the audience,
Yes. But that happens on bank holidays and not bank holidays.
That is true. That is true. They are always there. Yeah. Prats like that never take a holiday. They're always there.
No, they are full-time wankers. But yeah. 365 24/7, mate.
They're there.
Yeah. But so making it serious again, I hope people don't think that in any way we are moaning and I mean, we moan a lot. It's what we do. It's why people listen.
Yeah.
But equally, I think everything we talk about, every point we raise, every discussion we have, every complaint and every commendation, they all come from a real place.
It's all happened. It's none of this has not happened. It has all happened. So,
exactly. And we talk about it for that reason. We want to make people aware of the good, the bad, the ugly, the things that you go, well, of course, and the things that you go, bollocks, that never.
Really?
Yeah. And that is why we're here. That's why the podcast started, because we wanted to go, George Clooney and Brad Pitt and insert massively famous actor here do make millions, and they are incredibly talented at what they do, but that doesn't mean the little man is any less talented. It means they just don't have that platform, or just haven't been recognized to that grander scale. And the podcast exists to go, this is what happens in our world. These things are real, and this person does this job, and without that job we couldn't do the amazing things we do or get to do, and couldn't bring you that final end product that you thrive on, the series that you're addicted to watching, or the show that you listen to all the time, or whatever it may happen to be, or that movie franchise. They all exist because people give up their holidays, and people commit, and people do these other things. So we're not asking for recognition. We just want it to be recognized. Is that? I think
I see what you say there. Yeah.
And you're probably the only bloody person in the world that could understand what I've just said, because I'm not sure I even did, really. But yeah.
No, I know where you're coming from, and I think a lot of people do. I think in general terms, people are very generous and giving and appreciative. But
So we don't have working hours. We don't have working days. We do come in on bank holidays and weekends, and even when we're not working, we're working. I think that's probably the biggest thing about it, is just because I'm sat watching TV doesn't mean I'm not working. And obviously I'm very lucky that I can do other things while I wait for work to come in or wait for responses. But equally, I'll have spent hundreds of meals sat there, fork in one hand eating, and the other hand scrolling through applications and applying for things and sending messages going, can I audition this day? Or do you want to see this? Or here's my headshot, or whatever. The work is never ending. And we're lucky that it's never ending, because we could be stuck in something that we don't find entertaining and don't want to be doing. And there are lots of people out there equally doing that. So I tip my hat to them, because you do have to be ready to make sacrifices in that way as well. Our sacrifice is perhaps not having that holiday, or being available to do blah, 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 or having to cut something short, or not being able to commit to something. The sacrifice of other people perhaps is that they don't enjoy work. They go in and do a job that they don't like, but it's because they have to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. So in a way, and it's a back to front way of looking at it, but in a way, our sacrifices are quite nice ones to have to make.
It's a good problem to have, isn't it? It's a good problem to have.
But let's not talk about problems anymore, mate. Let's talk about positivity.
Positivity.
You've got the show coming up, and obviously rehearsals basically just started, haven't they? And they run all through next week. So you've got lots going on. I've got a few bits and pieces coming up. Cross your fingers for me, everyone. I'm waiting to hear about a job which could be really, really cool. So let's hope I get that. But equally, next week we got another guest.
Yay!
Which is always everyone's favourite.
That's always good fun.
So looking forward to chatting to someone else, highly skilled, highly entertaining, and highly kind to give up their time to come and chat to us. So very much looking forward to that. But other than that, in the meantime, I might do some work, because that's basically what we do most of the time.
Well, you won't stop working, will you? So that's there you go. You will be working.
I might sleep and eat, but one of them I can technically still work. The other one I can't really. But yeah, so I'm going to keep working. Are you going to keep working?
Oh, mate, yeah, I'll be on it.
Good. And other than that, we'll look forward to next week having a chat with someone new, and doing more not moaning, just making people aware.
Yeah.
But, mate,
well. As always, thanks everyone. We've loved having you with us. Love being with you, Sam. As always, matey.
Of course, mate. So here's to you and here's to everyone and here's to the sacrifices we all have to make.
Cheers, everyone.
See you next time. Cheers. Thanks again for watching this episode of Drewling Samantics.
Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.
Don't forget, we're also available as audio only. Just search Drewling Samantics in any good podcast app. And please support us on social media. All our links and handles are on screen now.
We love welcoming new followers and subscribers, so why not share with your family and friends so they can join in too? Thanks very much. See you next time.